Hi everyone, welcome back to Nasedyanka, the channel where I talk about Bulgarian history and tradition, culture, and faith. This is going to be a little short bonus that belongs to the series of episode 15 where I began talking about Ivan Trenev's research into the 17,000 years of Bulgarian history. I would love to share something with you, and this specifically comes from a YouTube resource where he himself speaks, and I wanted to share to translate what he says about the oldest map in the world. So, we're going to talk here about the Bulgarians being in the cradle of human civilization, and as I just mentioned, we will discuss the oldest map that was discovered in the world to this date. For resources, please look into the comments section. And so I just showed you the map of the oldest map in the world. This is the clay map that was discovered around 97 kilometers from today's Iraq in the Sumerian city of Sipar or Tsipar around the year of 899. This map is currently located in the exposition of London's National British Museum. So this map depicts 7 arrows or 7 directions of the world along with 2 outside or external circles, in the middle of which is Babylon, along with 3 islands and 7 cities. What is interesting about this map is the fact that one of those 7 arrows or directions points towards the location and Mount Zagorets, also known as Hem Madari. Hem Madari, also known as Zagorets, are the 2 names of our Bulgarian Stara Planina, which is the currently one of our oldest mountains on Bulgarian territory going east to west. Let's see that picture. And so it is known that the region of Zagorje in Stara Zagora, Bulgaria, was a special place for negotiation of military conflicts between Great Old Bulgaria and the Roman Empire. We call that Rumeskata Imperia. That which has been written in cuneiform in Sumerian language on top of this map is namely the ancestors of today's Sumerian Akatsi, that is the Bulgarians, who come from Zagorje, also known as Zagros. Once again, the arrow on this map clearly points toward today's Bulgaria's Stara Zagora and the oldest Bulgarian mountain Stara Planina. Clearly, this proves that the ancestors of the Sumerians are in fact the oldest and most numerous civilization that lived in the southern Balkans on the lands of our Bulgarian ancient territory. In other words, that is namely the Pelasgian Bulgarians, of which I have already spoken in some previous episodes, and I'll continue mentioning those. Those were the Bulgarians themselves. What is also interesting about this map is that the location where it was discovered is also called Zagorets as well as Zagres or Zagros. So the location of Zagorets or Zagros in Iraq, as well as the location of Stara Zagora or Zagorje in Bulgaria, are one and the same name. They're just different pronunciations, different conjugations, different variations of the same name according to dialect and age and so forth. But it's still the same thing. Listen to it once again. It's Zagorets, Zagros, Stara Zagora, as we call it today. We also call the region Zagorje. We also call it Zagora. During the reign of Tsar or Knyaz Boris I, it is no coincidence at all that he actually baptized himself as well as the entire Bulgarian nation to Saint Theodore Stratilat and Tiron in the monastery of Stara Zagora. By the way, side note, we just commemorated him on May the 2nd and I intend to make a video about him in his name in the future, even though it may not coincide exactly with the date, but he is an important enough figure to know about. Okay, so why was he baptized in Stara Zagora, in that monastery? Well, precisely because in that place, in Stara Zagora, was created the very first monotheistic school or education in the world. It is not in vain that the oldest mines for ore mines, right, are also located in the territory of Stara Zagora, today's Bulgaria. Beginning from the 14th millennium BC, even earlier than that, by the way, is when those mines were created there. So when Tsar Boris accepted the Eastern Orthodox canon religion, he knew well that in modern times, when he would no longer be among the living in the flesh, at the location today where we find the only single one museum of religions in the world, and that is indeed in Stara Zagora. This is the place where the cultural, religious, and theological doctrines were developed first in all of their diversity and authenticity at the various Abrahamic religions. This is also where the first monotheistic school or education was formed and organized. And so it should be of no surprise that upon one of the 7 arrows pointing towards Stara Zagora and Stara Planina is also the inscription, "This is where our ancestors came from." It is of no surprise at all that the earliest or oldest Sumerian map that was found is called Zagorets, or also Zagros. It is of no surprise at all and no coincidence that the ancient name of Stara Zagora in fact is Zagres, Zagorets also known and pronounced as Zagros. These pronunciations of the same word actually stand for Zelmoxis. Zelmoxis was the name of the first monotheistic god of the ancient Bulgarians. So Ivan Trenev is recommending a book, and I intend to order and read it as soon as I can. It is very difficult for me to order from abroad, but I will mention it here for you guys. If you can order it before me, that will be great. If you cannot, I'll be happy to bring it as soon as possible. This book is written by Professor Evgeniy Sachev. It's the 4th edition. It can be found at artniton.com, and I'm going to include that in the comment section. It is spelled artniton.com. I'm afraid that the book is probably most likely only written in Bulgarian language, and that is why I'm mentioning that I will do my best to translate again in future episodes. It is called "The Bulgarians Are at the Cradle of Human Civilization," and it's a precious book that every Bulgarian should have, let alone other people. This book will clarify some historical references that through the years have been kept in secret. They have been hidden from human history. If you wish and aspire to see this map, by the way, in real life, you may visit the National British Museum of London. Those who comprehend of the ancient languages, who understand of ancient civilizations alone, can prove the validity of what Ivan Trenev is talking about and presenting today. It is logical and it is so easy to prove. It's so simple. It's a mind blower to me, just to consider how much humanity has been deceived, though. So this is but a small and tiny particle of an artifact that enriches our understanding of world history and the development of humankind. Why is that so? Well, because up until before this map was discovered, let alone translated, humanity falsely believed that current human civilization started from Sumer, the Sumerian civilization, in the 4th millennium BC. But as you now see, this is incorrect. Also because in the ancient chronicler Kulgari's pointers or instructions or writings, we can actually read his own writing that, as he says, the Sumerians were created by other people, whom he called the Black Bulgarians. This very fact is being repeated once again now in this map that we are discussing. So the point here is that not only all Bulgarians should learn the truth about our own history, but people around the world should know the truth about the history of humankind. If you're from Europe, you should know the history of humankind. If you're just a human being, you should know the history of humankind. As you come to learn, Bulgaria did spread throughout many different continents, and this is paramount. So thank you so much for your time. This was a short clip here, just adding a bonus, as we will continue with the rest of the series in episode 15, talking about the 17,000 years of Bulgarian history. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of the day and the week. Bye bye.